What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and today I'm going to be doing some yard work. I want to show you kind of what it's like to be a homeowner, what it's like to be uh, mowing my yard and what it looks like, and just, I don't know, just bringing you along for today. I haven't mowed in I want to say like 4 or 5 days, and it needs mowed. The problem is it rained a little bit last night, and the grass is still pretty wet. And those of you who don't know anything, when you mow wet grass, the cut isn't very great and it could stick a lot more to your lawnmower, to your bagger, the chute, and it's not fun to mow wet grass. Plus it sticks everywhere. The other thing is it's been hot for the last several months, and we had some cool days here and there, but today is the first cool day that's gonna keep happening for the next week. There's only one day where it's going to get up to 80 degrees, and that is something that I am really excited for because today, high of 73, perfect temperature to be working outside. And those of you who don't know, I live in the Pacific Northwest, more specifically Washington State, and I live more south central. We live in an area where it gets really hot in the summer and really cold in the winter. So we get all 4 seasons. So most of our grass is going to be cold season grass. And I can't tell you exactly what kind of grass I have. I do know that there is some fescue and I think some bluegrass. But this is what my yard looks like currently. I'll actually show you a better angles. But it's actually really, really wet still. So I can't mow for a while. And there is one area over here that is just a little bit dry. It's kind of gotten maybe some heat damage, or just it dried out a lot quicker than the other areas. So it's a little bit brown and not as tall, but the rest of the yard, lots of leaves. The leaves are starting to turn. So I'm gonna go ahead, and today I think I am gonna bag all the clippings. Last couple times I've just thrown them out, this side discharge, because I didn't want to deal with the bagger and dealing with any of the grass that gets stuck in the chute because it's really tall. But today I am gonna mow and I'm gonna bag it. I do have a little bit of yard in the back, so let me just show you that. When we first moved in, there was a little bit more yard in the back than there is currently. I made the decision to kill a lot of the grass back here, actually all of it, and then I brought it all back, some of it, by reseeding it. That was a lot of work and quite a bit of money, to be honest. But this is the yard, and if you can kind of tell, we have some gopher issues, more in the back here, but still in the front too. But the gopher seems to really, really like my backyard, popping up all the time, multiple areas, and I don't want to kill him. I don't, want to harm the guy, but I really don't want him to be tearing up my yard anymore. But I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Back here, I planted tall fescue and some clover, and the clover seems to be doing pretty good where we used to have the puppies over here. And I love the clover. I think it adds a lot more to the grass. But back here, there's a lot more weeds, and I sprayed the other day, and actually I think a lot of the weeds are dying, which is great. But I think I do need a mow, and today's the day to do it. But like I said, the grass is still wet, but I can still do other things before I actually mow. And I'll probably water a little bit today too, even though we had some rain last night. One of the first things I have to do this morning will be picking up Major's poop from the front yard. We don't let him come into the back because, well, the back does not have a complete closed-in fence. So he's going to stay in the front, and that means that anytime any person comes over, and especially a lot of kids, and they want to play in the front yard, well, I have to make sure that there's no poop. And he poops like twice a day. If I don't mow for a week or 2 weeks, there's a lot of poop out there. So what I do is, a while ago I bought these poop baggies from Amazon. They're actually Amazon Basic. It comes with tons of rolls. I'm talking tons, and I bought this years and years and years ago. The Major used to stay with my in-laws, and they never really picked up poop with the bags. They just picked up poop with like a shovel. And I pick up the poop with the bags mainly because I have all the bags, and I don't really think I'm going to keep doing it. I am also almost out. I think I'm on the last 2 rolls, but I need to pick up poop. I need to make sure I save some of these so that I can take it places when we go traveling or on a walk or whatever. So I'm not going to use them all. What I found is sometimes, especially like over the winter, I don't really pick up any of his poop. So in the spring, or whenever there is a warmer day during the winter where I can go out there and there's no snow, I will get like some gloves and a grocery bag, and I'll go out there and I'll just fill up the grocery bag with all the poop, tie it off, and throw it away. And that's kind of what I decided to do with these bags. Is I can use like a full roll, like 16, 18, 20 bags, and I'll use them all. Or I could just use two and use one as a glove and the other as like a regular bag. And so I think doing that sure wastes a bag because there's no poop in it, but it allows me to not use as many bags. So I get to basically save plastics and save money. So I'm two birds with one stone there. The last time I mowed, I didn't actually clean out like the top of the deck. I cleaned underneath. I try to do that every time to make sure underneath the deck is as clean as possible. So then not all that grass will be like kicked on there and bake on there and like stick really, really bad and rust out the bottom. And how you do that is you literally, I'll show you later, but you just run water underneath it and you run the blades. So then it just shoots out all of the clippings that are sticking to the deck. But it's pretty dirty right now, and I'm going to attach my GoPro so when I do start mowing, you're going to be with me on a little time lapse. But like I said at the beginning of this clip, first thing I got to do is go pick up his poop. Okay, after picking up the poop and waiting for, a few hours for the grass to dry, I haven't actually checked the grass to see if it's wet still. I think it might be. I might go ahead and just do side discharge again today. I'm not really into wanting to add the bagger on and, go out and bag and whatever. I'll probably just do that next time. Plus, even if it is a little bit wet still, not bagging it, and also because it's so tall, it would most likely, no matter if it's dry or if it's wet, it'll just clog, and I really don't want to mess with that today. Also, I was going to have my GoPro set on my lawnmower, like right up here, but my GoPro's batteries are garbage. They're toast. They've been charging for the last like 3 hours, and I just put one in the GoPro to check like the framing, and it was on 10%, and it died like probably within 5 minutes of turning it on. So I'm not sure if my batteries are completely toast or what the situation is there, but I've been using my GoPro with it like plugging into an actual like outlet because it was just a lot easier to do that. I can have hours and hours and hours of time lapse. I can't do that when I'm on a lawnmower. And my camera, I do not have a mount for it to be put on the lawnmower itself. To be honest with you, I could probably set something up to have it sit like right here. I can probably just duct tape the tripod to it, but I don't think it would be a lot better to have my other camera. I might jerry rig something up because I think that would be kind of cool to see footage like this from the lawnmower. I don't know. Who knows what I'm gonna do. Alright, so the next step is to blow out my lawnmower, all the clippings from the mower deck on top of it, the whole mower, all dust and other sort of clippings. And then after that, I'm going to go over there by the grill. That's kind of where I put you with the time lapse in the backyard here, because we have like a little patio, we have some pavers there, and that's a good spot to put water underneath the deck and turn on the blades and stuff, because if you do it out in the yard, then you just get a bunch of you drop it all the way down and you mow the yard, or the mud comes up. So doing it on concrete or like a flat, level, solid surface is the way to go. Don't do it on gravel. Don't do it on gravel, and don't do it on grass or mud or really dirt, because it turns into mud. But anyways, I'm going to blow it out with my leaf blower, and then I'm going to go over there and clean it out. Okay, now that's done. I am not going to do any more work outside. It's a little doom and gloom outside, and I'm not really wanting to do any more yard work. The other yard work I would be doing would be using the weed whacker to go around and trim up the edges and near the tree and stuff. But I'm going to leave that to probably in a few days when I mow the yard again. And I also will not be doing the very backyard. I call that the pasture. That's what the previous owners used it as, and that's where like some weeds are. And I see quite a few that I can mow, but because they're so small and they're spread out, I don't want to take the 30-45 minutes that it would take to mow back there just to get some of these weeds. I'm going to let them grow a little bit taller. I'm also not going to be watering anything today because it's going to be kind of windy, and I hate watering the yard in the wind because a lot of that water doesn't get put where it needs to be put, and then it also dries out quicker. So I'm going to let it be. I'm going to let it sit. I'll probably water tomorrow, and I will probably also do some other yard work and like trimming the stuff using the weed whacker and all that maybe in a few days when the grass is growing a little bit more. I'm also definitely going to bag it next time. Like I said earlier, I didn't do it just because, I mean, the grass wasn't that wet. It was still a little bit wet, but because it's so long, even if I mow it at the highest level, the grass is going to be too long to where when it gets shoved up the chute for the bagger, it'll like stick or stay or get like clogged up, and I hate fixing it because it's just a mess. Also, the way that I do the cleaning for the deck, that seems to work really well in my opinion. And a lot of the time, most lawnmowers come with a wash port, which you just kind of do like a quick connect. You put it on and you turn it on and you let it go. I saw a video that a guy said let it go for 10 minutes, but I think that's kind of too long. I think 5 minutes, 6 minutes. I just go based off of what the water looks like when it gets shot out. If it looks more like water, like clear, white, then I stop. But if it's green or brown, I keep going until it becomes more clear and white. And the other thing on my lawnmower, the wash port broke. I don't really know how old this lawnmower is, but it's at least a few years old, like 4. I find that like the deck itself looked kind of good. Like there's no major rust spots, but there was a lot of buildup, and it's probably because they never cleaned it, or at least they never used the wash port. And a lot of time back when I was younger, my dad and I would literally take like a chisel and chisel underneath it. My dad never did the wash port, and I think his main lawnmower, I don't even know if it had a wash port, but it was because it was really, really old. But our newer one, we never did that either. And I can't remember why we never did when we had several spots that we could do it. But anyways, stop talking about lawnmowers. I think even though this video is kind of lame and not super, super long, that'll be it for today's video. If you liked it, be sure to smack that button as hard as you can. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'll help me a lot. And turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys all next time.